Hi there, and today we're going to learn about how to use libraries in Wix Studio. So here I am in my Wix Studio website, and if you're wondering what are libraries, libraries are a great feature to use in Wix Studio as it helps you save time in designing elements in your website. So because if you design an element, you can save it as an asset and save it on the gallery, and then you can use that asset in your different Wix Studio websites. And it saves a lot of time because you don't need to create a design from scratch when you are designing your website. So for example, I will show you how to create a library first. So in order to create a library, you just need to click this icon right here at the top left. Then from here, you will go to Tools and then click on Libraries. And from here, you can create your own libraries. For example, I already have this library 1, but I can create another one. So for example, I will create a library 2. And then from here, you can just exit. And then the way that you can save assets into your libraries is that you can right-click. For example, I'll just right-click this Forms, and then you will need to see if that has an Save as Asset option right here. So some elements don't have that option. For example, this form, that it doesn't have that option. And then if this section, if I scroll down, as you can see, we can't really save it as an asset. So this depends on a different things. For example, this is a form. You can't save this as an asset because you will need to use another form when you are using another Wix Studio website. You need to download the application for that. But if I will create like a simple element right here, so for example, I will add like an image right here, and then I will also add like a button. Then I will add a paragraph, and then I will add like another image. So for example, this one. And then from here, we can just click on the whole section. And then as I right click and then scroll down, you have this Save as Asset option. And then we can just click on it. And then for example, I want to name this as template. And then we can add this to a specific library. You can also add it to save assets if you want, but I will save it at library 2. And then once I click on add elements, we can click on assets, and then we have our libraries right here and also save assets. As you can see, the save assets doesn't have any asset, but we can just do the same thing, save as asset. Again, I'll just name it, for example, template 2, and then I will save it to save assets. Click on add, and then once we go back here to add elements, we can now see the element in save assets. Then we can also see our save asset in our library 2. And then we can just drag this into our websites. For example, I'll drag it right here. Then as you can see, we now have 2 copies of our design. So it saves a lot of time because we just need to save it as an asset and then just drag it into our website, and then we can use that specific asset again. And then if I do the same thing with the save assets, drag and drop, now I have another copy of my design. And then for example, I open also this other website that I have, and then I will just reload it. And we'll just wait for it to finish loading. Now that the website has finished reloading, again, we can go to add elements, go to assets, and then as you can see, we now have our library right here. And then I can just go ahead and drag and drop the asset, and then now I have my design right here. So as you can see, it saves a lot of time because I change between two websites and I just need to drag a specific asset on both of the websites, and now I have it automatically created. So I won't need to create it from scratch anymore. So I hope you learned how to use libraries in Wix Studio. Thank you for watching.